Okay, we're going to do this nice and quick. Well, quick-ish. Here's some quick tips for Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, the Occult Crescent. Okay, have you done Eureka or Bosja? It's basically that again. The main thing to keep track of is knowledge level. Your real level doesn't matter. Everyone's 100. You're coming in here, you care about your knowledge level. You do quests, kill crap, and do objectives to gain more knowledge experience. If you die and you're not resurrected by someone, you lose some XP. Don't let that happen. If it does happen, it's not that big of a deal. There's a few things that I recommend you do before you really get into the meat and potatoes of the grinding. That is, start the quest for your relic weapon. We're grinding Demiatma here. If you're familiar with previous relic weapons, you know the trauma. You're doing fates, you're doing critical engagements. You can do them outside of this zone, but why bother when you have new content? Just do the critical engagements here. But you don't want to grind these things without that quest up, because if you're going to do the critical engagements, you might as well have the relic weapon quest so that you can grind multiple things at once here. It's all about efficiency, people! Now, when you first zone in, you're going to do all the quests that you possibly can. You're going to prioritize them because they reward you with knowledge XP, so you can get a few extra levels really early on because these quests are piss easy. They don't involve killing, you just run around stuff, find an ether node pretty much, and click the thing and report back. And just do that a couple of times, you have yourself a nice little chunk of experience. Now, next up, before we actually fight anything, I'm going to give you a few pointers that I had to learn the hard way. These fights can get kind of hectic, especially if you're out of the loop or you're just rusty when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV. I would massively suggest turning down spell effects for other players, turning off their nameplates for non-party members at least as well, and also putting in the chat window /pet size all small. There's a lot of visual effects that can go on, especially in the critical engagements. I found visibility to be quite a big issue here, so before you take a death or take a vuln stack that you could have seen otherwise, I would personally recommend turning those things down. They're right there in the options, and you can just put them back to normal later. Next up, the name of the game early on is going to be the critical engagements. You're farming for your relic weapon, and also they give you good knowledge experience and also just experience for your phantom jobs. We'll get into them. Critical engagements are up almost all the freaking time, and I normally find myself only with like a minute wait before another critical engagement pops up on the map. What are they? You go to a point in the map, you're queued into a boss fight with everyone else around you, up to 72 players, I think that's the number. You do the boss fight, you get your rewards job done. Sometimes you might get Demiatma, which is the thing you're grinding for your relic weapon. You need a lot of them, by the way. These fights can hit hard, and sometimes they don't hit hard, they just hit a lot. And if you're not familiar with how these fights work and operate, chances are you're going to take a few hits, and you're going to rack up those vuln stacks. And if you don't want to be a flaccid penis on the ground on the floor, while everyone else gets to play the game, and you're worried that you're going to continually get hit, and you just want an extra buffer, I would recommend going tank if you have it available. You don't actually have to get aggro, leave that for some other jabroni. Just go tank. I went warrior because I think the warrior weapon looks far away the best. And one of these starting phantom jobs you're going to get is Knight, which just gives you an extra mitigation for 60%. And the next ability you unlock for Knight is also a heal. So you can be extra comfy, you can be extra safe. Speaking of phantom jobs, remember the lost actions from Bosja? We're doing that again, but like kind of different. What we're doing here instead is we're off-speccing. You have a new little UI window, you click on what phantom job of the ones you have available you want to play as, and you'll accrue XP for that phantom job. If you level it up enough, you'll start to unlock more and more abilities. Just as a heads up, you can buy more phantom jobs from the vendor in the main camp. There's two currencies that go on here, gold and silver. Gold comes from just grinding regular mobs. Silver comes from the fates and the critical engagements. I would recommend picking up Cannoneer, which costs silver, I believe, for no other reason than it's really funny. And look, it's a game, we should be having fun here, and just spamming a giant cannon you summon out of your ball sack is really kind of funny to me. But again, if you just want to be comfy here, you just want some extra cushion, just go with Knight, or go with something else that provides some kind of parry or other kind of healing. Oracle if you pick it up. If you do play as a tank, you can go well into the 6 to 7 vuln stack range and be pretty safe. And these vuln stacks do not drop unless you die. So this means you get more time playing and learning these fights and how to dodge and what to look out for, instead of watching everyone else have fun. Early on, in between critical engagements and doing all that stuff, I would recommend picking up all the aetherites so you can just teleport about the map, and when a critical engagement spawns in a place you haven't been to yet, you don't feel like, oh, I should have gotten that before when I was over there. Just pick it up, it takes a few seconds. Good news, if you ever wanted a job that plays with only one button, go to Red Mage and just put Verraise in your bar. With the amount of times that people die in these fights, that'll be the only button you press. Trust me. Another thing, the challenge log. It exists, they have updated it, the Occult Crescent is now part of it. If you want nice little chunks of XP, go to your challenge log, look what you still need to do. Chances are you'll get a few of these challenges done just natively playing the game. Otherwise, if you want a nice little objective to go for, look at it and go do it. Next up, there is gear and glamour you can acquire here, again, back at base camp with the vendors. Cost gold, cost silver. You can do one of two things, get regular glamour just for the sake of glamour, or you can get gear for the sake of gear. The gear here is item level 745. Oh, but that's not meta. Who cares? You can also upgrade this gear later on with even more currency you get on the island to acquire more buffs that only work in the Occult Crescent. This is something you can work towards if you really end up liking it here. I think the sets are based on Final Fantasy V, but do not quote me on this. Another tip, honestly, stick with it. Early on, I got a few repeated critical engagements, and I thought, you know what, maybe there's not that much here. There are more than you think. I'm still finding new ones, and I've put multiple hours into this thing. It's just you may get a bad stroke of luck, and a few just keep popping up. Just stick it out. There's a lot more than you think. One other thing, your duty actions. Bind those keys. Duty Action 1 actually uses the Phantom Action. Duty Action 2 cycles through your Phantom Actions. You'll be using them a lot. Make sure they're on an easy-to-use keybind for the both of them. That's my recommendation. Just as a heads up, I believe a couple of the Phantom jobs that you can acquire utilize items that will be in your inventory. There are vendors in the camp that sell things like potions, elixirs, and just items that I think those Phantom jobs use. So if you're going to go down that path and utilize one of those Phantom jobs and you're wondering where you actually get your resource, it's at the camp. Phantom Chemist has quite a few duty actions that utilize these items. So if you're going to go the route of being a Phantom Chemist, you'll want to have a stockpile of these things so you can actually utilize your abilities. They range from fully restoring your HP, your MP, etc. And with that, I'll call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have your own tip, leave in the comments down below to help other people. If you have a question, leave it down below. And also just let me know how you feel about the Occult Crescent South Horn. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you disappointed? Are you surprised by how much you like it? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, and hear your perspectives. Stay safe. Have a great day. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more content. I know I would appreciate it. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again.